By 1943, Nazi Germany was losing ground on all fronts. Desperation led to radical weapon proposals, blending science fiction with wartime urgency. The Nazi leadership, including Hitler himself, greenlit projects that defied conventional warfare. This video explores 7 of the most bizarre weapons they attempted, some laughable, others chillingly ambitious. From orbital death rays to giant tanks, these ideas reveal the regime's escalating delusions as the Allies closed in. The sun gun, or Sonnengewehr, was a theoretical orbital weapon designed to harness sunlight as a deadly beam. Proposed by Nazi scientists, this space-based mirror would focus solar rays to incinerate cities or boil oceans. While technically plausible, the lack of rocket technology made it impossible. The idea reflected the Nazis' obsession with superweapons, even as their resources dwindled. Declassified documents reveal it was briefly studied by the US after the war. The V3 Supercannon was a multi-chambered artillery piece designed to bombard London from France. Using sequential charges to accelerate shells, it could theoretically reach 165 kilometers. The Allies bombed its construction site in 1944, halting progress. Only 2 prototype guns were ever fired with limited success. The V3 epitomized the Nazis' fixation on vengeance weapons, despite their impracticality and cost. The Goliath was a remote-controlled mini-tank packed with explosives. Intended to destroy Allied tanks or fortifications, over 7,000 were built, but its thin armor and slow speed made it easy to disable. Many were captured and repurposed by the Allies. Despite its flaws, the Goliath pioneered modern military robotics, laying groundwork for today's unmanned vehicles. Ironically, inspired by a U.S. project, the Nazi bat bomb aimed to release thousands of incendiary-laden bats over enemy cities. The creatures would roost in buildings before timers ignited the explosives. Tests showed promise, but the idea was scrapped in favor of conventional bombing. This bizarre scheme highlighted the overlap in Axis and Allied desperation for unconventional tactics. Die Glocke, the bell, was a rumored Nazi UFO, an anti-gravity device shrouded in secrecy. Witnesses described a metallic, bell-shaped craft emitting strange radiation. Some claim it caused fatal experiments on human subjects. While no proof exists, the myth persists, fueled by Cold War intrigue and declassified files on Nazi wonder weapons. The Nazis planned to hide explosives inside dead rats, smuggled into British factories to sabotage production. The British discovered the plot and turned it into propaganda, displaying the rats to boost morale. This macabre tactic underscored the Nazis' willingness to exploit even animals for psychological warfare. The Windkanone was designed to blast aircraft from the sky using compressed air. Tested in 1945, it proved useless against real bombers. The cannon's funnel-shaped barrel could generate gusts of 70 meters per second, strong but not enough to damage planes. It stands as a quirky footnote in the history of failed superweapons. Nazi scientists explored X-rays as a potential death ray, inspired by contemporary fears of radiation. The project, led by Heinz Schmellenmeyer, aimed to create a handheld device. It never progressed beyond theory due to technical hurdles. This idea mirrored global interwar fascination with ray guns, later dismissed as impractical. The heavy Gustav was the largest caliber rifled gun ever built, capable of firing 7-ton shells over 47 kilometers. Used briefly in 1942 against Sevastopol, it required 2,000 men to operate. Despite its destructive power, it was logistically impractical and easily bombed by the Allies. Only 2 were ever constructed. The P-1000 Rat was a planned 1,000-ton supertank, armed with naval guns and anti-aircraft batteries. Blueprints showed it would be 35 meters long, larger than a blue whale. The project was canceled in 1943 due to resource constraints. Had it been built, bridges and roads would have collapsed under its weight. The Ju-87 Stuka, infamous for its terrifying sirens, was modified for stealth attacks by removing the noisemakers. These Silent Stukas saw limited use in night raids. The absence of sirens reduced psychological impact but improved survivability, a rare example of Nazi pragmatism amid outlandish projects. The Me-163 Komet was a rocket-powered interceptor, the fastest aircraft of War II. Its volatile fuel caused numerous crashes, killing more pilots than enemy action. Despite speeds exceeding 700 mph, its 8-minute flight duration rendered it ineffective. The Komet symbolized the Nazis' reckless pursuit of technological edge at any cost. Most Nazi wonder weapons failed due to unrealistic goals, resource shortages, and Allied sabotage. Projects like the Sun Gun or Ratte ignored basic physics or logistics. Others, like the Goliath, were outpaced by conventional tactics. These failures highlight the regime's detachment from reality as the war turned against them. While most Nazi superweapons were dead ends, some influenced post-war technology. The V-3's multi-stage concept inspired modern artillery, and the Goliath presaged drones. The myths around projects like Die Glocke endure in pop culture. Ultimately, these weapons reveal how desperation breeds both innovation and folly.